Now, Big Mike, I wanted to move over to the next biggest news story. Now, last time we talked, we brought up the whole situation with Diddy. And the way that we addressed it, it pretty much at that time, the way the media had painted it, it looked like it was over. Looked like he was going to be found guilty on all charges. It was a RICO, a federal RICO on top of that. So it looked like there was no hope for Diddy in this situation. But it looks like somehow he can't stop, he won't stop, and he beat the RICO. Man, what did you think about this whole Diddy basically beating the RICO? Now, some people are going to say, well, he got the two lesser charges, but those are the two lesser charges. He actually beat the RICO charge, the racketeering conspiracy charge in there. The catch-all for everybody that they always get you for, he beat that. So, Big Mike, once you heard the news, what'd you think? I'd love to hear your opinion.
I mean, when I heard it, I ain't even gonna lie. I thought it was, man, that man got all that money. You feel me? He got all that money and there's ways to throw it around. You feel me? So it's like, just imagine if it was Diddy with no money and fighting with a public defender. You think he would have beat that RICO? I think not. He had the money. He got a lot of influence in the game. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people still respect dude. You feel me? Even though what he was charged for is bogus. But, you know, it's still people out here that respect that mob. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, in my mind, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? That's what money do. When you got money, that's what money do. You feel me? Like you can do that type of stuff. You feel me? Even though he got, you know what I'm saying, the two lesser charges, who's to say he ain't finna get like some 20 years, 30 years worth of probation or something like that, or you feel only they give him time to serve on those charges or something like that. Who's to say that ain't gonna happen? So, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, you know, they just be crying on people downfall sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I believe he did any way. Like, yo, to say side. My bad.
But it's definitely some over freaked out stuff in this case. Like, he's overly freaked out, bro. Like, it's like to the point where, like, it got gross. Like, listening to the testimony, listening to all the different stuff. Like, I didn't want to hear from any of the witnesses. Like, it got to a point where it's gross, man. Come on. Like, cause life is about a little bit more than all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that's a rich people thing, if it's just, that's how, they get down or whatever. But regardless, man, it was over freaked out. But one thing that I wanted to point out was the fact that, like you said, he basically, was hit with the two lesser charges. And in the lesser charges, they carry no mandatory minimum. So a judge could say at his sentencing hearing, now his sentencing hearing is going to be October 3rd. So the whole world to be watching, right? But a judge in a federal case uses the sentencing guidelines to say, hey, he could do this much time because he's got this many priors, this evidence of this and that. What they were hoping for was him to get bail, but they were like, oh, okay, you won today, but we ain't that sweet. It ain't that sweet. You ain't about to get bail. You know what I'm saying? But they tried. But what in the two charges that he did get found guilty for, which was the first one was count 3, transportation for purposes of prostitution. So basically, a prostitution charge, like a normal, some guy who pays for women or whatever. And I hate to use this word. I'm gonna have to get that out of here. So he got that charge. And the maximum sentence he could get for that is 10 years in prison, right? Then the other charge he was found guilty for was transportation for the purpose of prostitution. So basically saying that he transported a prostitute to him for the purpose of prostitution, meaning paying for jets or buying an Uber, anything like that, right? So these are regular charges that people normally get misdemeanors for in the real world. It's almost like a lot of people are saying, like, this is a waste of all the resources for a RICO because, these could have been state charges. So there's no mandatory minimum for that charge either. The maximum for that charge is 10 years. So consecutively, he's looking at 10 years maximum. Now, the judge could give him 10 years maximum, right? But the judge could say time served. It all depends on how that judge is feeling, and he has the appellate court in his back pocket for later on. You know what I mean? But with hearing all that, after all the media, after everything, what did you think when you heard those verdicts in that situation that he's looking at now?
That's what money do. Money get you out of stuff. People know you did this. Like, people know you did this. Like, well, it's all allegedly, but at the same time, like, people know you a freakazoid, man. You feel me? But at the same time, when you got money and you got some power in that industry, you know what I'm saying? Diddy been around a long time, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like that money is them two lesser charges. I feel like he probably maybe do a year piece or something like that, if that, bro.
Actually, you're spot on with what a lot of the lawyers on, because I've been following this on all social media. There's a lady, she's real good at predicting these. She's an attorney, handled federal cases. Her prediction is he gets 2.5 years, and they do it in months in the feds. So if she's saying 48 months with time served, he probably does like another 8 and goes home or something like that. You know what I mean? Which is crazy when you were looking at life, because for count one alone, so count one, racketeering conspiracy, he was found not guilty. The charge carried a maximum life sentence in prison, the most severe punishment out of all charges, but he was found not guilty. You know what I mean? Right. So what do you think about that juxtaposition? Like, his life was on the balance. He was looking at life in prison. Now he's looking at maybe getting time served or maybe getting, 10 years. Like, what do you think?
When you go from life in prison to maybe 2 years in prison, it's a beautiful thing, because I don't care what nobody say. When you facing life in prison, you gonna be anxious, nervous, you gonna be scared. You know what I'm saying? Like, that come with a lot, because you like, man, what if I do have to spend the rest of my life away from my family? Even though I got money to be able to take care of myself while I'm in here, money don't solve all your problems. Because now your kids growing up without, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be people dying. Like, your family members going to start checking out, and you going to have to be sitting inside of somebody's prison, dwelling on all of that stuff that's going on the outside world. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then it's like dying in here, dying in these people place, like, man, dying in prison. So when you go from almost dying in prison to about to do about 2 years, it changed everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, now I got to start doing things different. You know what I'm saying? If he is a freakazoid, if he ain't. He probably started throwing his little sex pilots, you know what I'm saying, a little more discreet or something like that. I don't know. You feel me? But it's going to come with anybody that do, well, I know a lot of dudes who done did 20 years and then came home and then he back locked up, you know what I'm saying? But a smart man, you know what I'm saying, which I'm thinking that Diddy is a smart man, he didn't get to where he at for no reason. You feel me? Or come home. And you know what I'm saying? I know he gonna be doing his interviews, his little press conference, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But like, try to stay out the limelight a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, the limelight ain't, you know what I'm saying? Focus on yourself, get your stuff together, and stay up out these people's way, because you just beat this. But if they get you again, you ain't beat no.
Yeah, that's a dangerous game to play. I think, man, he fades into the background, but we got to remember too, this man is a billionaire. That's different. That's different than even your multimillionaire rich. Billionaire rich is something way more powerful than we could even, imagine. And obviously, there's different ways of pay. Like, he was able to pay for Brian Steele. And I was going to ask you, so let's go into that. So Diddy's legal team is comprised of some of the best defense attorneys ever, right? But one that he particularly grabbed during the stretch when it all looked bad was Young Thug's attorney from his RICO case, Brian Steele. Now, Brian Steele is 2 for 2 in beating RICO cases and RICO charges right now. You know what I mean? He had the Young Thug trial down in Atlanta, which was a state RICO. Beat that. Got Young Thug out of that. Now he has this Diddy case. He comes on late, and he ends up getting Diddy off for this RICO. In a situation like that, he's closely associated to the hip-hop community as a key defense attorney. But he looking like Johnny Cochran in the 90s right now, man. What you think about this?
He is, you know what I'm saying? And by him beating these RICOs, it's helping him too. You know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, like that's money. Because now when people start catching RICOs and stuff like that, or Fed cases, period, you know what I'm saying? They go get Brian Steele, like, man, look, I need you to go ahead and take care of this, you feel me? So he know, like, you know what I'm saying? His name is get big, kind of like the Johnny Cochran, you know what I'm saying? So he beating those cases and obviously he know what he doing. So everybody gonna be trying to, you know what I'm saying, get him, you know what I'm saying? Somebody catch a RICO case or a Fed case or something. Hey man, look, call up Brian Steele, tell him I got this for him right now, man. You feel me? So like he become the popular, not just in the rap industry, in the hood, period. Anybody that got some money gonna pay that man.
Yeah, I was thinking, if you're not even, say, a rapper, but you got a big bankroll from whatever, right? And you catch some charges, man. Like, would that be the first number you call, right?
For sure.
Now, coming up in Chicago and you doing some time yourself, was there ever times where you were like, okay, there's this one lawyer that we would go to, or there's some personality out there or somebody to reach out to when you're in a bind that's similar to like a Brian Steele?
You got certain, like on the state level, like I ain't never heard no Fed case or nothing like that. I don't know about no federal lawyers like that, but on the state level, the lawyer that, you know, a lot of people be getting is people like, you know, Shelby Pruzite, she won. You know what I'm saying? She a good defense attorney. Sam Mallows, you know what I'm saying? He a good defense attorney, you feel? Those are like the ones, like people always have in Cook County Jail, especially when you fight like Shelby Cruz, like she gonna get you off a robbery. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. You fight a robbery or something, she gonna get you off of that. Yeah, pistol case, stuff like that. Yeah.
Now, when it comes to situations like that, where you have guys who really in them streets, from the trenches or whatever, do those names seem to circulate kind of like Brian Steele's name is circulating?
Nah, they don't circulate like his, because he more, like, he more one of them lawyers that everybody know about, you feel me? Like, that the whole world know about him now, you feel me? So it's like, those lawyers, like, on the Chicago level, you feel me? Like, did Brian Steele do, like, everybody know him. You could, Cali, Atlanta, Illinois, you feel me? All over the place. He all over the place. And, you know, the lawyers in Chicago really ain't out there like that. Where somebody from Atlanta would be like, oh, I'm going to call who out the bam. I'm finna see if, you know, she or he could beat this case for, you feel me? Cause they names ain't out there, like on a worldwide basis, like, you feel me? Like, you can't just call them. Like, he one of those ones that Johnny Cochran was one of those ones that everybody knew about. And so it was different.
And the crazy part about Johnny Cochran and Brian Steele, what it seems is, and Drew Finland, that's another one. I believe he's Lil Durk's attorney now, is those guys, people see them coming. You expect, okay, man, his time will probably run out, you know, knock on wood. But still, they come with enough evidence. They find enough fault within the case to come out with these good decisions for their clients, man. That's got to be crazy. Makes you wonder what price they charging, right?
Man, they be trusting lawyers like that. They charge about an hour, bro. I don't think they have no set pricing like, just give me $25,000 or give me $30,000. Man, I want $5,000 an hour. Them the type of lawyers that you want. Cause you nosy, he gonna go to war in that courtroom.
Yeah, because a part of it is his reputation. The other part is they've got resources that, you know, other smaller lawyers and firms and things that don't specialize in that don't have, man. So for this Diddy situation to be looking that bad, to where everybody was kind of at a unanimous, oh, he's going away for life. Oh, he's going to at least get 25, 20 years. To this guy maybe possibly walking up out of there, you know, if that's actually being a possibility with no mandatory minimum, allegedly, right?
For sure.
What do you think?
He's finna walk up out there. He finna walk out a free man. Like, a lot of people was, you know what I'm saying, everybody had their opinions. Because that's all people can throw out there as opinions anyway, because you ain't the judge, you know what I'm saying? So you ain't the jury. You don't know what's going to happen in that case. So everybody was going out their opinions. and was for certain that certain things were gonna happen, and they did. So I want to see what people gonna be talking about on the Net 9, that he done beat that RICO that everybody thought that he was gonna be in prison for the rest of his life for. So now y'all got something else to talk about now.
Yeah, this is crazy, man. Now I want to get to some other parts of this story, man, that are interesting, man. Now you have a whole situation where Diddy is an entertainer. He's in the entertainment industry. Bad Boy Records famously owns all the rights to Biggie Smalls, aka the Notorious Big, Craig, just a huge catalog, right? He mixes and mingles within Hollywood and hip hop. And you notice when things started to go crazy for Diddy, most people didn't speak out or say anything crazy about him. It seemed kind of like they took a step back. And the media was wondering, how come like people aren't saying more about Diddy? Like, how come a lot of the people who are around him ain't dissing him? It looks like with him possibly coming out, there might be a situation where, he might come back to some sort of power in the music industry. Do you think that's a possibility?
I think it is, because you know what I'm saying, the reason why like rappers and sailors and stuff like that weren't speaking out against him, because you don't want to get to saying something and they come back to bite you in the butt. You feel me? So it's like, as you get on these interviews or something like that, and you hear relationship with him, you know what I'm saying, on the business level or something like that, and you know this man a billionaire, you know he got power in the industry, I don't think you gonna want to say nothing until you know that situation is dead. Like, he in there for the rest of it. Like, now I can speak out on the type stuff. Because if you know what I'm saying, you speak out on it, and now he done just beat the RICO case. Now, you know what I'm saying, you was an up-and-coming rapper. Now you being blackballed now.
Yep, that's crazy, man. Now, because I mean, in the Little Rod lawsuit, which was a civil lawsuit, he pretty much blew open the door to a lot of things, and he was suggesting that Diddy had so much power that he told Lil Rod, like, I can get you a Grammy, like I can get you a BET award, I can get you whatever you want. You just got to play, you got to play your part. Like, he's like guaranteed him he can just get him those things. And if you look back at the BET Awards, before he got locked up, the top podcasters was Carisha Please and Nori. They tied. In what world does an award have a tie? That never happens. Both of them were under Diddy's Revolt umbrella, and both of them won. So it's like, is all this true? Like, dude definitely must have a lot of power. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't got no problems with you, Diddy. If you listen to me, this is it comes out, I'm just reporting it as it is. I'm being funny, but it does seem like, man, he does have a lot of power in this industry. Now, when he comes back, do you think it'll be the same thing?
It is going to be the same thing. He owned a record label. He still, it's still artists that's up under him. You know what I'm saying? It's still companies that he run. It's still people that respect this man. Like, you think DJ Khaled or anybody at one of those columns going to start messing with that man because of that? No, they not. He finna come home and he finna get right back to what he was just doing before he got booked.
So when it comes to being in the industry, it seems like there's a possibility for Diddy or a lot of people who are associated with him to go back to the relationships that they had previously had, because on its face, the charge that he was found guilty for is basically buying prostitutes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure most of the people in that industry, though that's not a norm to people, to regular people, you know what I mean? To them, that they could probably still, I don't know, do you think they could still work with him or not? Because at first it did look like a big smear campaign, and a lot of the details that came out were kind of nasty.
Man, they still gonna mess with dude when he come home. Dude got too much money and too much power he could put people in positions they ain't never been in before. You think just because of the situation he just came from up under gonna stop somebody from making some money with him? No, that ain't gonna happen. I guarantee you, he come on, he better throw like this little, I'm home look, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's gonna be some faces around him, and people gonna be like, oh, he back messing with him, and he back messing. They ain't breaking relationships. That's why ain't none of them speak out on it.
Mm-hmm. Facts. I think you're 100% correct. And I think the way that it played out, if it had played out different and say that he had got like the 25 to life, and he would have actually been found guilty on the RICO, they could kind of give themselves space and then room to maybe move a different direction away from him. But with this, and this looking like a win on his face, it seems like he might go back to just being Diddy. Now, will he be throwing parties after the award ceremonies? I doubt that. I don't think so. What do you think?
No, I don't think that. I think he might highlight some love. You know what I'm saying? He invited certain people that were supporting him while he was still booked, and you know what I'm saying free Diddy, you feel me? He might have a couple of those people like at a little small little gathering, you feel me? But if I'm not if I could be wrong. It's just my opinion. When he come home, I feel like he gonna do like some type of like maybe like interview or live, like apologizing for the situation and stuff like that happened or whatever. You feel me? So he get, get people to like bad up off on, like, you know what I'm saying?
And a lot of his friends in the industry are the heavyweights, the biggest. You know what I'm saying? Like people with a lot of power, man. So it's like, it's a weird situation, man. So when it comes to like rappers and things like that, a lot of people you see affiliated with, I think one of his biggest people that I've seen speaking out for him, and it was in a comedic way, was Charleston White, which was hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to crazy.
Crazy, man. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum in this question, you have Kid Cudi, amazing artist, man. But he took a stand against Diddy, because they wanted to get him for, basically burning and blowing up Kid Cudi's car, his Porsche, right? And he took the stand. It was a weird situation where some people were applying them. Other people kind of saw who were playing the middle, like we were talking about earlier, were like, you might not want to do that. You know what I'm saying? But he did. He took the stand. What do you think happens for Kid Cudi? Because number one, his fan base is not, say, like a drill fan base. His artist is not like a gangster rap fan base. His fan base is more of your hipster vibe, that type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
He might as well stop rapping. It's over with for you, bro. You might as well stop rapping. Ain't nobody that want to do no business with you.
Even though he's in a different lane, even though his lane is kind of more of a, I hate to say eclectic, but it's a different type of vibe. It's more the people who go to festivals. That's his fan base. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't got no money though. If Diddy got all the money in the world, be able to make that man life a living hell, bro.
Good point. Yeah. That's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? You do got to have money to go to war, man. And it puts him in a weird position because, he's already had his struggles or whatever in the industry. So I don't know. So you think Kid Cudi is going to end up, actually coming out on the bad in this situation?
Yeah, he going to be blackballed, I think, for sure.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
It get to a point where, you know what I'm saying, certain things you don't want to be involved in, but you decided to be involved in that situation, and that's like a career-ending situation because that man got money. All he got to do is throw somebody some money they ain't never seen before. Oh, bro, I can't work with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the money the money most people ain't never seen before is nothing to him. For a billionaire to throw $100,000 is less than a penny. It's less than the equivalent of it's nothing. So for him to say that, hold that over, say some radio guy's head, say, hey, don't do that interview, or hey, don't play that song, it would be nothing. Now that's illegal. That's why they have payola laws and things like that. That's very illegal, but it would be nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely would.
Crazy, man. So for Kid Cudi, man, hopefully, I don't know. We'll see how this plays out, right?
Fingers crossed. Psych.
Now, Diddy, like I talked about earlier, was denied bond. I guess they were feeling themselves. They said, all right, we already beat the RICO charge. He only got found guilty for these two lesser charges with a maximum of 10 years. While he's waiting, let's see if he can get bond. And that was denied. Now, do you think that was just trying your luck? Or do you think that they thought, hey, we on this winning streak, I'm paying all this money, let's go ahead and try it for bond?
Why not? You know what I'm saying? I just beat the RICO and I got found guilty for 2 lesser charges. Which it's safe to say they not finna give him no big years or no crazy time behind it. You feel? So it's like, why wouldn't I try it? Oh, I just came from under the RICO. Man, what's up with a bond, man? Let me get out. You know what I'm saying? Let me roll them around now. You know what I'm saying? Let me, plant my feet again. You feel me? And they denied it. They like, nah, bruh. You just slapped us in the face by winning this RICO, and you think we about to grant you so you think we about to let you up out of here? No, you finna sit up your hand till we done.
Yeah, true. Well, this is an interesting story and an interesting twist. And hip hop is what that is, man. It's always these crazy headlines and just these surprise situations that just shake up the world, man. So we'll be monitoring this one closely, man. I can't wait to get your opinion about this some other time after more details play out. You know what I mean?
For sure.